Janice, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Cheers.
How are you feeling, first off? Guys, we've been preparing for this video for like
For a
20
long time.
minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just a bit excited.
Even me. I'm happy because I have a Maltese on my YouTube channel. You know that I had only one Maltese woman on my channel. She also moved out of Malta. She went to Australia and she came back.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to be very long with the intro. We have a story to share, your story.
Yes.
You, as a Maltese woman, you left the island. Why did you leave Malta and when?
So I left 7 years
Let me
ago.
take a sip. 7 years ago.
Yeah, I left 7 years ago. And yeah, I was, of course, younger and more free spirit and not thinking much. So it was quite quick. I always wanted to leave. I don't know, I had my cousin living abroad already in Brussels. So I used to go visit him and so on. I mean, Brussels was not a place where I wanted to live as such. But yeah, I was still intrigued, you know, because Malta is very small, always the same, bumping into the same people and so on. And I mean, I was living here forever.
Yes.
So yeah, it's
You
always
wanted something new, something
exactly
big,
something
open.
fresh and so on. I started traveling, of course, and then I met a German guy when I was actually in Munich.
Really?
Yeah. I always wanted to move to Berlin then, because I visited Berlin before a couple of times even, and I liked the city, and yeah, its people are very free and liberal
spirits,
and open, and open as well. So then I was like, yeah, Berlin could be an option, and of course then I started really asking him and his friends, because then I got to know his circle as well, like how it is, how much rent you pay there, and so on and so forth. And I said, maybe I can try. And he was like, not sure if he was drunk or not, but anyway, at some point he said,
I'll help
I
you
can
out."
help you. And I'm like, okay, that's
I like
perfect.
this.
I like this. So I stayed 3 months living with him, sleeping on the couch, and basically washing the clothes and put them back into the luggage because there was
Living
no
out of a
space.
luggage.
I was young and it was like an exciting process for me. It was hard, but not. I knew in my gut that it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Because I was very, very persistent. I mean, I am a persistent person in
Yeah.
general. So if I put my mind into it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was pushing a lot. But it was crazy. Like, I did so many stupid things, even when it comes to interviews, for example. Like, I was so naive in the way of thinking. I was like, yeah, Malta is in the EU, so my tax number here works in Germany. And it's like an assumption that like I was sure about it. I believed it. So then I went to an interview and the interviewer asked me like, yeah, do you have tax number here and so on? And it's like, yeah, I'm coming from you. It's the same. It's like, it's not the same.
This is German.
Do you have a bank account? No, I don't. And he explained everything to me during the interview.
You are Mediterranean. You know,
Exactly.
this was something else. You know, when people are migrating from one country to another, from one culture to another, you feel the difference. So when we decided to make this video, I was like, I'm gonna ask her, how does she feel? How was your feeling back in that time, coming from such a sunny island, so open vibe, and people being so woohoo, you know,
Yeah.
here, and then going to a more, I would not say strict country, but I would say country with a lot of good systems.
Yes.
It was a cultural shock, maybe traditional shock.
So at the beginning, because I was so enthusiastic and like, you know, I had a lot of things to sort, like the job and then eventually the apartment, to have an income. I was constantly on stress because I didn't have an income coming. I was not paying rent thanks to my friend.
Yeah.
But even I didn't want to stay there for a long time because that's his space. So I had my mind focused on so many other important things at that time that I didn't have time to think about the weather, the people, and so on.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good what you said.
Yeah, because I wanted to get those things done first. And then after that, so after the 3 months when I found a job, And then 2 weeks later, I found a room.
Okay.
So it was very fast as well. And then after that, I got my first salary. I was like, okay, now I'm independent. And then
Yeah.
after that, I started actually exploring, having more free time, spending money and don't feel guilty
Yeah.
that I don't have an income coming. Because every time I used to go out prior I had the job, I was being hard on myself, like, yeah, you shouldn't have spent, I don't know, 50 euro tonight
Yeah, you're
when you
spending
don't
your
have an
savings.
income exactly coming. So.
Wow.
And I mean, when you're alone, you have to be really, really responsible
Yes.
in
Not
everything.
easy.
So it was like a huge learning in a short period of time for me as well.
For me was the same when I moved to Malta. You moved out of Malta in 2017.
Yes.
I moved in Malta in 2015.
Okay.
So for me was the same. Now when you're talking this, I'm just remembering even my time when I moved here and I had the same, like I was enjoying and meeting people and having someone to help me out at the beginning, but at the same time I had that kind of like stress and anxiety and fear of, oh my God, what's gonna happen, where I'm
Yeah.
gonna find a job. And then you have this, what you mentioned, like you you might have felt guilty at the beginning spending money that you brought without earning, but as you said, once you start working, get your first salary, and then you just go off and be like, yes, I made it,
I
can
made it,
continue
exactly. And I
now.
gave a reply to maybe friends who didn't believe that I will do it because I'm
did
very quick in
Did you
doing things.
have Maltese friends that were your age that were moving out of Malta in that time, or no?
No, not
No, you were
really.
the
Only
only
my
one.
cousin. And when I told him that I'm moving, I mean, he always encouraged me. But yeah, at the beginning, when I told my friends, yeah, I'm moving to Berlin, and it was so quick. I didn't even do like a farewell party or something because I was
Really?
like,
Nothing.
yeah, I don't even have a job. I might be back in 2 months or 3.
Yeah.
But for me, that was the last thing.
Wow.
I really didn't want to be like a failure in my mind
Yeah.
that I will come back.
It was a success. 7 years is
But
not a joke.
of course I pushed.
Yeah.
So as I said in the interviews, I was naive and so on, but I learned very fast.
I like the conversation because it reminds me of me when I moved
It's
to
nostalgic,
Malta.
eh?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very happy here, and I know that I didn't do a mistake. And when I go back to my country, I see difference. What is the difference that you have been noticing in Malta in these last 7 years since you moved out up until now?
Yeah.
What have you noticed?
I mean, I noticed a lot of things, but not like big things. But the attitude maybe of the Maltese people towards foreigners as well. The frustration maybe because a lot of changes happened on the island which were quick and unexpected as well. So I do understand that. But also at the same time, I'm a foreigner living
another country.
abroad,
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh, that's very harsh. Or that's borderline racist.
Yeah. Hey, speaking about this, how do German people accept foreign people?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not bad. It's not, I don't want to sound, it's not bad. And in Berlin especially, you don't really need German on a day-to-day basis because the city is
Very
multicultural,
okay.
so you don't need it. But of course, when you call or try to call the Finanzamt, the tax office,
That was a German word.
yeah, it's
You feel that
you
you're a
feel, of
foreign
course,
person.
most of them they don't speak English. When you go and
happens.
when you change the address and you need to register in another address because actually I changed like 6 flats.
In 7 years.
In 7
Every
years.
year new.
Yeah, it was not my choice, some of them, but yeah. So yeah, these government departments employ maybe more of older people and so on.
They're not so open and
They're
keen
not so
on
open.
foreign people.
And I mean, maybe they do expect that you speak the language, but if you arrive there, first year, second year, when you're sorting your life, getting a job, apartment, and so on, you don't have time to learn the language on
It's
top.
true.
And when you work full time, and you maybe have to commute, because before COVID, most of the people were commuting to work, and then you have like 45 minutes, 1 hour train to go, 8 hours at work plus break time, and then another 1 hour to go home.
Wow.
And if you live alone, then you have to go home, clean or cook,
Yeah.
chill a bit. You don't have time for German.
Yeah.
And German is the least thing
actually
you want to
so
do,
right.
you know?
Oh my, cheers for that girl. Wow. I'm like a viewer. You guys are enjoying what she's talking, and me too. I'm like, wow, that's so well said. I never thought about this, and it's so true, actually. Because now I'm thinking, when I moved to Malta, why I was not learning the Maltese language at the beginning? I mean, not that I'm pro now, but you hang out with foreign people. You don't have, as you said, you come back tired after work. You're settling down, and you need focus. You need rested mind to learn the language.
And even what is really weird, this is really like unacceptable for me. So once I was at the Berlin airport and my luggage was lost, so I went at the desk and I was talking to the person behind the desk like, hey, the luggage and so on. And he didn't speak English.
At all zero at the
like,
airport.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like, then he had this paper that I had to fill and so on, but it had like pictures and, I mean, I do understand German now, and like I can, if they speak slowly, I can of course understand what they are saying. But to assemble a sentence, like meanwhile
Especially
probably
that stress.
exactly. Meanwhile probably the topic has changed, and I'm still assembling the sentence in my brain. I'm like, whatever now.
The luggage arrived in Malta until you do the sentence in your head.
Yeah, it's crazy. So there's places like this. Where like there's a lot of tourists, like train stations and so on, and there's no one speaking English there.
How is it with you and the German people over there? You have a partner?
So in general, I would say I don't have a lot of German friends.
Okay.
So of course I have a few. I'm still friends with the same guy who helped me moving there. Of course,
okay, cool.
I have huge respect towards him. So yeah. And my boyfriend is German as well, which we met through this person. So that was great.
You own a lot to this guy.
Yeah, a lot. Everything I own to him. So yeah, greetings, Domi, if you're seeing this video.
Wie geht's, Domi? Guten Tag.
So most of my friends are not Germans. Reason being is not that Germans have anything wrong, but if they are drunk or this and that, if they are a group of Germans and I'm the only one that I'm not speaking German fluently or so, usually they switch to German automatically, and then you feel a bit left out.
Yeah.
But I think it's normal. It's not like anything wrong. I think this happens everywhere,
Even here.
Even here.
Yes.
If we're like all Maltese,
automatically
and then
you
there's
speak a
someone
language.
foreign, of course you try, but even sometimes if you're like saying a joke or something,
you say it in Maltese.
You say it in Maltese because it sounds better, kind of.
It's true. If you have a chance to give an advice to Maltese people that they want to move abroad, what would that be? Because there is some Maltese people, they want to move out of Malta nowadays.
Yeah.
What would you advise them?
Yeah, even after I moved, a lot of people visited, a lot of friends visited me there, and they were like, yeah, I wish to move and so on. The thing is, you need to be mentally prepared or open, because I was not mentally prepared. I was so naive. I was just like, I'm gonna do it. But I was open to face the challenges because it's hard. It's hard because it's a completely different place. For example, Berlin, there's 3 million people.
Yeah.
It's like so huge compared to
6 times
here.
more than here.
Exactly. The weather is completely different. It's multicultural, which is good, but it's also kind of has its negative things, because a lot of people have different mentalities, but they have to live together. So it's chaotic.
Yeah, it shows.
You know?
Munich was like that.
What is acceptable to me, maybe it's rude to you.
True.
And communication is like, yeah, I said this, but it's been interpreted differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like yeah, it's hard. So I think the hardest thing I found was not finding a job, was not finding a flat, but for me it was like meeting people and try to make friends and maintain relationships, friendships, and so on.
This makes so much sense when you're talking. I did a video last week, which is giving my advices for people after living in Malta for 9 years, what I learned. And one of the topics that I covered in that video was how to have a friendship here in Malta and how to maintain it, whether it's good or it's not. And what you just said is what I was saying in the video. People at the moment in Malta are really into some kind of circle of I'm working all the time, or what you just said, they are traveling. If they're remote workers, they travel a lot.
Yeah.
And then they're back in Malta from April till October, and then
Yeah,
they're
and
summer
then it's
abroad.
hard. It's really hard.
It's the same here in Malta.
I think it's the way the world is going at the
I think
moment.
so.
I think
We're so
after COVID,
digitalized.
everyone is like, yeah, let me travel.
I know, I noticed that as well. I noticed.
yeah.
So it's not only in Malta, because you know,
No.
sometimes I'm so happy that we are doing this video, honestly, because I know that other expats who are living in Malta are going to watch it. Because here, you know, this I might should do it as a completely other video, not topic, but I would just say it briefly like this. We expats, we bash down Malta and we talk crap about this island, but we still live here.
Yeah,
And
I hate this.
there are people that have been speaking bad about Malta since I started the YouTube channel, because I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them on social media, and I'm like, dude, you've been complaining about Malta in 2021.
Yeah.
When I started my channel, it's 2024. You're still here.
Yeah.
Leave if you don't like it.
Yes,
And at the
yes.
same time, from the other side, we have the locals. With all due respect, you are a local as well, where you have them still complaining about us foreign people keep on coming, keep on coming, but in reality, they try to make money out of us.
Yeah.
Rent and lower salaries,
crazy.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, we are so weird, and I thought that in Malta, I thought it's only in Malta like this,
No.
but it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
I noticed it in my country.
Yeah.
I noticed it in Munich, in Germany, with my
Yeah.
friends when I was talking about
Yeah.
this. It's interesting. It's paradox, I think,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's everywhere in every
And
country.
I think it's normal, kind of, because it's like whoever is living here, like since ever. So the people the Maltese people in this case, for example, it's their territory.
Yes.
And you came here, for
Yes.
example, but it's still their territory.
Yes.
So they take advantage, but it's the same with me. If I apply for an apartment, let's say, first of all, in Germany, you have to provide so many documents.
Really.
You have to pay much more deposit than people are
We're
asking
talking
here.
about renting, right?
Yeah, yeah. So even like documents. So before you rent, you have to provide like 3 pay slips, employment contract, and so many documents. This is one thing. Here it's so easy for
Yes.
people to rent.
It's like, yeah, Ghibli flus.
Exactly, that's
It's
it.
yours, take the keys.
Exactly. They also, I think they ask for one month,
1 month deposit.
In Germany, they ask for 3 months.
3 months.
3 months.
Whoa.
Yeah, so you need to pay so much deposit. And also when it comes to, for example, apartments, when you rent something, it's empty. So you need to pay
To furnish
3
it.
months deposit, plus buy all the furniture. Kitchen usually you have, and bathrooms, but these days even they are renting without kitchen.
Wow, that's
Yes,
insane.
yes.
You need like 10,000 when you're
Yeah.
moving to Germany.
Yeah. So
Malta, it's like 3,000-4,000 for foreigners.
Yeah. So, and then when you move out, in the contract you have in writing, usually they give it to you like painted white everywhere. But if you decide to paint a wall or something, and even if it's stained with some, wear and tear, they come literally like and check, and you need to paint.
Inspectors.
Yeah, and you have to paint the walls, the whole apartment usually, because if you've been living there 5 years, for example.
Wow.
So yeah.
Have
so at
you-
the beginning, it's ideal when you go to a country like this
To share.
To share.
I have my last question for you. I can spend another 1 hour. I think this video is going to be above 30 minutes. Guys, enjoy it. Full of information. I'm happy
Yeah.
that we are doing. Would you ever consider to move back to Malta? If yes, why?
Yeah. So the answer is yes.
Ooh, she's back.
Yeah, so I've been 7 years now in Germany, and basically one of also the reasons why I left was that the summer in Malta is very warm. It's too
You don't
much.
like the heat?
I don't like it at all.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
too much for me. So I, of course, selected a cold country. But now the problem is not that it's cold, but Berlin is particularly most of the time grey. So you wake
Did
up in
it
the
affect your mood?
a lot, and
It
it's the
did?
same. When you said that you were in Munich and Germans like were very happy because of the weather. Like
Yeah.
when it's sunny, they queue for an ice cream, even if it take them 30 minutes to get the ice cream, and it's cute, right?
Yeah.
Because when they have the sun, they appreciate it. Because you stay in grey weather for like, I don't know, 8, 9 months
Oh
a
my
year.
God, I would never.
So when you wake up, it's grey, and then it's grey all day, and at 3 or 4 in the evening, it's dark. Then you start switching on the light in winter.
Wow.
And even because, of course, Berlin is quite north as well, so...
I liked it a lot. I like all the systems. I like how it's organized.
Yeah.
I like Germany. I would not consider moving there. I know that salaries are better than Malta. I know that the systems are better. I know that everything is precise. I know all of this. Where in Malta we are a bit more relaxed and more
Yeah.
like, oh, well, yeah.
But still, I think it's overrated. I think in Malta, or Maltese people, most of them believe that, like, yeah, because abroad everything works. Yeah, but abroad you pay a lot of taxes.
Yes.
So
How
you
much are
get
the taxes? Like 45%?
42.
42%.
It's 42 in Germany. I
That's a
mean, the tax rate I pay, yeah, it's 42. But it's a huge bracket, so a lot of people fall under this bracket. And 42 is a lot. You think you go and apply for a job role where they ask you for, I don't know, 80K, 70K, and you think it's a lot.
And then when you
But
pay
it's
the...
not, because then in hand it's not a lot. So you really need to have a good salary. And I think Maltese people also, and even foreigners maybe, complain about the hospital here.
I like Mater Dei. I don't know about
The
you,
the waiting is long, let's face it. I was here on vacation, I twisted my leg, fractured it, I stayed 8 hours and no one saw me.
but really?
Yeah, no x-ray, nothing, so then I had to go to St. James. But the reality...
And pay.
and
Private.
pay, which of course then I realized that my health insurance I pay in Germany also works here. But anyway, so we complain a lot. We have this habit, I think, that we complain a lot. But I pay a lot for health insurance. And when I needed a hospital in Germany, I also waited like 7 hours
As well.
as well.
Wow.
And I pay like 300 myself
Per month.
and 300 the employer.
Whoa, 600 euros per
Yeah,
month
it's a bit
for
more
health
actually.
insurance.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Wow, that's
So,
a lot.
it's a
We
lot.
pay like 350 annual.
Yeah. So on top of the taxes we pay this health insurance. But of course, then when you go to a doctor, you don't pay. But dentist, for example, is not covered.
Yeah. And you go more to a dentist rather than
Yeah.
a
So
general
the thing, I
practitioner.
think we have this habit of complaining a lot. But the reality, I think, we shouldn't complain as much. Because with the amount of money I pay for health insurance, here you can do a private health insurance with
Exactly.
like, I don't know how much it is, maybe 150 to 100 a month. And then you're served top notch.
Yes.
But I pay so much money and I'm still not served
Wow.
that well.
Speaking about this, I am actually pretty happy with Mater Dei. Luckily, touch wood, I haven't been so much into the hospital, just maybe 2 or 3 times in these 9 years. And with me was the opposite. Like when I needed a doctor or something, I was waiting 15 minutes max.
Maybe because you're good looking.
So are you, sweetheart? Or maybe because they know me from YouTube and because I
maybe
was in
yes.
the last 3 years. You
So
know
now I'm safe. I'm on your YouTube channel.
So if you see Janice going to Mater Dei, please, we don't need any cues for her. From my experience as well, it was a top notch. But this about people waiting for many hours to be assisted, or when you make an appointment and they gave you an appointment in 3 months time or 2 months time for something like that, it's everywhere.
It's
even
everywhere.
in,
And when
my
we
country.
consider we don't pay for it,
Yeah.
we should be really blessed with it. Of course, being that now we have a lot of foreigners living here,
Yes.
of course, the hospital is overloaded
It
because
is.
we are more, you know.
You know, what I
But
noticed?
it is what it is.
That Maltese people that are working, that are studying medicine, they
Mm-hmm.
opt to go abroad, especially in the UK. They don't want to stay here in Malta. Maybe it's because of the salaries.
Maybe.
Because in UK, yes, you get maybe 40% more, but
But
it's
the rent is also quite high there.
exactly. So you come out in the same.
Yeah. But
Wow.
I mean, people who move in their 20s, they are more kind of free spirit. Most of them, they don't
They
move
don't even go to
for
hospitals.
yeah. But they don't move for the money. They move mostly for the experience, you know?
Yeah, that's
because
true.
you want to see something new, experience something new, meet new people. This is the reason why I left. I didn't go to Germany to save. I was like, well, if I'm just doing whatever job, even if it's not related to my studies, I'm happy as long as I'm paying my rent and I'm enjoying
My life.
the
Yeah.
grey weather there. No, actually, I moved to Berlin particularly because I was really interested, of course. I was fed up of the heat here and like of the same things, you know, that I was doing and going out to the same places and so on. But I also moved there because I visited, I liked it. It's one of the cities in Europe where rents are cheap. They are quite similar to here, actually.
And better salaries.
The standard of living is also similar to here. Is
Yes,
actually
yes.
groceries are, I consider them as cheaper than here. But if you go to Paris, if you go to London, all these
Oh.
big cities in Europe are expensive. And also, on top of that, Berlin is the culture, so there's a lot going on, activities, clubbing is like.
I know.
So that was one of the reasons also that I moved there. And the techno scene there is big.
You like techno.
I do, but I don't go clubbing as much anymore. I don't have that energy anymore. So I still go from time to time, but I'm not staying long in the clubs as I used to. Yeah, that was something that I really like. So that was the reason why I moved to Berlin, not to save, not to buy a place, and I be your neighbor.
By the way, Janice is my neighbor.
That was not the reason. But yeah, then I managed, and I was like, I'm not gonna waste my money and like.
I'm the
all
only
time.
foreigner in this building, by the way. Everyone is Maltese, I'm the only foreigner.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But definitely, I suggest people to do this experience because once you do it, as I said, if I was younger, I would probably move to Spain. And
I was about to ask
now
you
my
this
cousin,
as well. Wow.
my cousin moved to Spain now. I can also.
The one from Berlin, from Brussels?
moved to Spain now. He's in Madrid. So I have someone there now. If I want to move, he can help me. With the company that I'm currently working, I can easily move to Spain as well.
So it's remote. Nice.
So it's remote. But yeah, now that I have an apartment here as well, so reason why I want to move is, of course, I miss the sun now.
You're tired of the grey weather?
I'm tired of the grey weather. It's really, people really change according to the weather.
It's true.
It really affects you in the long run. The problem is the grey weather. You don't see the blue sky never. And that's a really big problem.
It affects your mood.
It affects your mood,
It
your
affects my mood
energy.
here, yes.
Like, for example, here, when I'm here, I wake up like 8 and so. In Berlin, I do wake up at 8.
But you're late.
Yeah, the level of energy is far way different.
Same.
So yeah, I definitely suggest people to just do it. And also trust your gut is very, very important. Even if everyone is telling you you're not gonna do it, but your gut is telling you yes, then you're gonna manage it.
Wow.
For sure. Yeah.
Janice, I can stay here the whole day.
Yeah.
And we can do this video to be like an hour long.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to make a podcast one day, and the podcasts usually they last for like an hour and a half. And I think that you and we can make a podcast that is going to be 3 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
We have so much to talk. Thank you so much for being a guest on my channel, being my lovely neighbor as well, that I'm so happy we did this, because while you were speaking, even though I know you and I knew already some of the answers that you're gonna tell me, for me, you opened up quite a lot. You mentioned so many things that I feel like viewers are watching this and they're getting your information, Maltese people, foreign people, whoever it is, But I felt your words and I felt your intelligence and I felt the advices that you were giving in the right way. Like you opened up something that I didn't think about, being a foreign living in Malta while you were talking as a foreign person living in Germany.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
It was really
You
nice.
enjoyed it?
Yeah,
It felt
a
like we are
lot.
filming or it felt like we are just having a glass of wine,
Yeah.
which I drank it halfway through the video. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some really nice information from Janice. Since she's moving back to Malta, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna see her again on my YouTube channel. Hey,
Yeah.
we should do a 1-year update.
Yes,
when you
we
moved to
can.
Malta and then how
Yeah.
it was.
And then I tell you, oh my God, I'm so sweaty. I hate this sweat.
I'm leaving. I'm going back to Germany. Thank you so much, my
Thank
dear.
you.
Oh wow, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and until I see you in my next one, bye.
Bye.
Now I wanted to make cheers with an empty glass.
Oh, bad luck.